What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. So today we're going to be talking about the 2022 Yamaha YZF-R7, which is set to replace the R6, which in my humble opinion, I don't really feel like that's a good replacement for the R6. You're talking about two different beasts. So the R7 is going to be a parallel twin, putting out, don't quote me on this, around 70 horsepower from what I've heard. You're looking at the R6, which is an inline 4. Smaller motor, but it makes them a lot more power. You're looking at like over 100 horsepower. So just stock for an R6, for example. But I do feel like the R7 is going to be a really great bike for what it's meant for. It's basically, in my opinion, I think it's going to be an excellent street bike. It can make a very good beginner bike for someone who is competent enough to hop onto an actual motorcycle coming off of like a dirt bike or a smaller type of bike. Someone that knows the basics and the fundamentals of riding. I feel like the R7 is going to be a very good choice for that. I feel like it's very similar to Heather and I both had Ninja 650s years ago. I feel like it's going to be very similar to that. So I feel like the top speed's probably going to be around like 140 or so. Don't quote me on that. I'm feeling like it's going to be right around 140. I've ridden the FZ-07. It's a very fun, very powerful bike, but it's not anything like an R6, which is like just insane power. I mean, I'm on a GSX-R 750 right now, which is more powerful than an R6, but I feel like the R6 is a very powerful bike for a beginner. You know, one of the good things about the R6 is that it doesn't have a whole lot of low-end torque. It makes most of its power up high in the RPM range, so it can be okay for a beginner. Same thing though, you gotta know the fundamentals of a bike before you hop on anything like that, like a 600 or a 700. But back to the R7, I feel like it's gonna be an excellent bike for the street. I feel like it's also gonna be a very good bike for the track. You know, for like novice, intermediate, possibly even advanced riders would be riding this bike. I would not doubt that one bit. I've seen advanced riders even riding on like R3s and Ninja 400s and stuff like that. So the R7 is going to be very tame and capable on the track, but one of the benefits for me is that you're not going to have all that horsepower and you're not going to eat up tires quite as quickly as you would on something like this or a 1000. The R7, it has a lot of newer technology, which I know is appealing to newer riders, people that want ABS and traction control and all that stuff. My bike doesn't have that, which I personally like that my bike doesn't have that, but I can see people that are newer riders or possibly even like advanced riders that really need the traction control and stuff like that. You know, advanced track riders, that is. So I feel like the R7 is a really good bike. I think it's going to do well in the US market. I don't know where all exactly it's selling. Sorry, I had to get my jollies out there just a little bit. I don't know exactly where all it's going to be selling, aside from the US, but I feel like it's going to be a great bike. It's going to sell well, I'm sure. The price point to me is very appealing. It's priced at like $89.99, so you're looking at like right around $9 grand. You know, that's MSRP. You may find them even cheaper in a year or two, maybe a leftover model, if people aren't buying them right away. You never know. But I feel like it's a great bike. I feel like it's going to be similar powered to the FZ-07, which is a very capable bike, very good street bike. People stunt those bikes as well, but a very good street bike. The FZ-07, I feel like, in my opinion, is probably one of the best street bikes out there. You know, you go to a FZ10 or an MT10, and it's almost too much power for the street, really. But the FZ-07, I think like a 600 to 700 is like ideal for someone who wants to rip around the streets, go to do track days, and also be able to hit 100 with ease. So like I said, the oh, that's a new Katana. Very nice. So like I said, the R7 is probably going to do around 140. I say that because Heather and I both had Ninja 650s, like I said, and our Ninja 650s were probably going to be very, like, it's closely comparable as you can get to the FC or the R7. It's a sporty looking bike, but it has a parallel twin engine. So our Ninja 650s topped around like 134, 135, somewhere around there, and I'm talking about like you can hit 120 with ease. After 120, you're crawling up to the 130s. So the R7 is probably going to be somewhere around the same. It might creep past 130 and make its way up into the 140s. Possibly. You're looking at a long straightaway though. I don't think it's going to get there very quickly. You know, you can't compare it to something like the R6, and I feel like that's like what a lot of people are doing. They're comparing it to the R6. And the R6 is totally different. The R6 is like this bike, okay? Let me explain, okay? I'm gonna let everyone get ahead of me real quick, okay? Okay, so I'm in first gear, right? This is the R6. This is actually a GSX-R 750, but I'll give you, for example, here we go. You're talking about a bike that can do 100 within a couple seconds. So yeah, you're talking about a bike that can rev, you know, well into the 70 mile per hour range in first gear on an R6. The R7 is not going to do that. The R7 is probably not going to rev as high, but I feel like it's going to be a very capable bike. I think it's going to sell really well. I want to say that, like me personally, 1 out of 10 score for me, I would give it like a 9, because I know Yamaha is very, very reliable. They make very reliable bikes, and I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it is the same engine coming off of the FC07. It's just going to be tuned a little bit differently, and it's going to have fairings. It's going to look a lot prettier. You know, don't hate me, FC07 riders, but it's going to have fairings, and it's going to look a lot better. It's going to be a lot more aerodynamic. It's probably going to hit a little bit higher top speed. I feel like it's going to be a win. Now, with that being said, will I be buying one? Most likely not, because I just bought a brand new truck and I really don't want to, you know, I have said this way too many times, and I'm going to say it one more time for this video. I love my GSX-R 750. This bike has been a dream to own. Now, when people compare the R7, originally they were saying like, oh, they were hoping it would be a comparable bike to the GSX-R 750, and that is definitely not the case. The R7 is going to be nowhere near as powerful as this bike right here. You guys good? You good? That new Katana though, I want to get a ride on that one of those. But yeah guys, I feel like the R7 is going to sell well. It's going to do really good. I feel like people are going to love this bike. I just want to give my opinion on it, because a lot of people were asking me like, would I go from the GSX-R 750 to the R7? And if my bike had a lot more miles on it and I was really looking to get something new and I wasn't so in love with my bike, I would do so. But that's not the case. So thanks for watching guys. Peace, and we'll see you in the next video.